Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Vinland Saga. Last time around we had Child of a Hero, where basically Askled met up with some of the other Welsh and revealed to them that he is indeed half Welsh and leans more towards his Welsh side than his Danish side. Oh my god, these are not words I need to be saying this early in the morning. I say early, it's 11 o'clock. Anywho. So yeah, he's half Welsh, and he's like, yo, I hate the Danes, and I'm gonna mold that little, Prince Twink into into my own creature so that I can make sure that the Danish stay out of Wales. So, that's like verbatim what he said. You can trust me on that. And also, Canute was like, yo, I'm not just a coward, I'm cautious though, because now he got mad. He got mad at Thorfinn, and he told him off. So, yeah, that was a nice bonding, Tumblr boyfriend moment between the two of them. So this better not go horribly wrong, because I want this ship to last, man. I don't think it will. Anywho, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Vinland Saga. Here we go. Man, after 2 episodes of Tumblr boyfriends, I had to be reminded that this is not a fun show. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you want me to say? Freaking, like, 2 episodes ago, I made a joke in the thumbnail of, Admiral, there be whales here, because they were in Wales. And as, tee-hee-ha-ha, fun YouTube time. What am I supposed to say about this, man? Just sad. Honestly, you could probably just take this episode and just show it with no context, and, like, it would work almost perfectly, Like, just from the questions of, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. To the village, Like, you could just isolate this episode and, like, show it in a history class, And just be like, here's like, if you want to get your students in the mindset of what is it in, in the literally at the beginning of the 1000s, what is it like, basically? What was it like at the turn of the millennia? And, get them into the mindset of Vikings and the Middle Ages and, religion during that time and everything. Just, like, this episode, like, it's like a perfect... It's honestly just a perfect little, what's the word I'm trying to look for? I don't know. But it's just, it's an absolute perfect, like, snapshot, I guess. I mean, Thorfinn didn't say anything, Our main character didn't say anything. Like, and, there were hints at everything with Thor's, but even that, like, it just serves the scene of, the Vikings trying to understand love and religion. And, the priest, it honestly just keeps making things complicated, It's like he can't explain it to them, He tried, because I like when he says, they explain the bond that they have as brothers, and it's like, okay, that's something. But he tries to go the step further of, well, if I were to go on the battlefield, would you have my back like you have your brothers? And he's like, well, no. Why would I trust you, a drunk priest on the battlefield? And it's like, then you don't get it, So yeah, and then everything with the village. I mean, that's just that family. Like, even before everything with the Danes coming in, which, can we now refer to them as the Dang? Because they're the Danish gang. I'm going to refer to them as the Dang, and I'm not going to remember that by next episode, and probably just call them the Gang instead. But the Dang, they showed up. Like, before that, it's like, that was honestly just a good snapshot. I mean, that's just kind of how... that's how a lot of people just sort of view religions. Like, well, why are we praying? Well, because Jesus told us to. Well, who's Jesus, It's like, they don't, like, it's not even really, like, a deep sort of belief. It's just like, well, we were told that this dude died 1,000 years ago. This guy died 1,000 years ago, but he was brought back from the grave. So we gotta pray, It's like, it's not a thing of, like, this God exists and there's his son and everything, so, and you pray to him because you worship him or anything. It is more, for them, it is a, we pray because that's what we were told to do, We were told to pray, and if we do that, then, when God, when hellfire rains down, trumpet day, no, judgment day when the trumpets sound. Not trumpet day. The heck is trumpet day? That's funnier, though. Trumpet day when the judgment sounds. It's so early. It's the first video of the day, so that's what it always is. But anyway. So, they're just saying, like, well, we got to do this, so when the world is destroyed in 20 years, we'll be taken up, And, Anne, this girl Anne is having this sort of crisis of faith for almost, like, no reason. It's like, she prays, she does believe in God, it seems, but because she bought, or at least what seems to be she stole a ring, now she's conflicted, She's conflicted because she thinks, because in her head, she sees this ring and it's beautiful. I like the moment where she's about to throw it and then she just puts it on her left hand, Like, she can't bring herself to get rid of it, but in her mind, that is conflicting with what little she understands about God, So that's an interesting thing. Or, you could even go further. Like, they don't outright say it, but I feel like you could go further of, everyone else in the village, presumably was, they prayed, they believed in God. According to them, they would be taken to heaven, basically. Anne is the one who's having conflicts, and she's the one who survives, But I don't know. Like, would that be a thing? Does that even click to her of, like, this is your punishment of watching all of them die, Even if all of them, could possibly, are possibly now in heaven because they believed, even if they were killed by the Dang, Boy, adding in the Dang kind of takes down some of the seriousness of what we're talking about, whatever. But I don't know. But it's an interesting, thought-provoking idea, And yeah, and then just at the end, and I just gotta say, just from an artistic standpoint, just the shot of the moon was just absolutely beautiful. Like, I cannot deal with how beautiful they made that shot, But it was great, That was really, really good. But anyway, but now she thinks, perhaps she thinks, this is my punishment to just watch all of them be slaughtered and for me to die in the snow, and all of them are taken to heaven, and once I finally die here in the snow, then I'll go to hell, you know? Like, she finds some, I guess, not closure, but some, like, peace, some content in the fact, you know, in the thought that all of her family has potentially made it to heaven because they were better than she was, you know, in her mind. I don't know. And man, what just a great episode to, like, it's a great episode because I feel like you can sort of get lost in the story a little bit of, like, you know, like, you know me, because first and foremost, I try to make these YouTube videos entertaining. Whether or not that succeeds, I suppose, is up to you guys, but I do try to make these entertaining, so when I find a running joke, I like to do those, because, you know, it's fun, you know, we have a good time, we have some laughs here on YouTube, you know? We're on YouTube, for goodness sake. But, you know, when I talk about, you know, like, oh, yeah, the Welsh are here, or, oh, everything's so cool, look at these cool, strong Vikings, Thorkel, you know, Askeladd's such an interesting character, we got Tumblr boyfriend ships, it's all fun, you know? And then we get an episode like this to remind us, this sucks, basically, you know? This world, this story is harsh, it is cruel, you know? And it absolutely reminds us that Askeladd is an evil man, you know? Even though, you know, in all honesty, he's not even thinking, like, he's not thinking maliciously, he's just thinking of his troops, this is just how he works, you know? You know, even though we had last episode saying, like, well, he's more Welsh than he is Danish, at the same time, he is Danish, and he knows how to command his squad, basically. So, yeah, he has to be like, well, what's the point? You know, we came here for food, we're not getting as much as we want, I can't just leave half of it to them, I'll just kill them, we'll put them in a hole, we'll take all their food, and that'll be that, you know? Like he's thinking almost completely, you know, practically and logically, you know? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, he just slaughtered 50 people, basically, or 60 people, or whatever it was. He slaughtered all of them and took their food, and that's just that, you know? And he vaguely justified it as, you know, this is good for the prince, but I mean, even, you know, because Ragnar was the one who had the, you know, it was like, well, wait, they're civilians, they're Christians, we shouldn't be doing this. And to Askeladd, he's just looking at it completely practically, like, we need the food, we can't, you know, we came here to get food, we're not getting as much as we wanted, so we can't leave half of it. If we leave any of them alive, they could go tell the enemy forces where we are, and that would be bad, which would endanger the prince. Like, it's just not... It's terrible, but he was thinking practically, I suppose, so... Ugh, Jiminy. So yeah, that was heavy. That was a heavy episode, but I mean, it's great. It's just a great episode, you know? So I really enjoy with this show, because I feel like, you know, other shows, they don't quite understand this, but I like how this show does balance, you know, the exciting action-adventure kind of vibe that we get from some episodes, and also the cruel world aspect, you know? The fact that it's like, this is historical fiction, but you can't even be like, well, you know, oh, we'll blame this guy. Like, and one thing, and this is not actually a knock on, like, Attack on Titan, because, like, there's plenty of things to knock Attack on Titan for. This is not actually one of them, but, like, in Attack on Titan, it's completely fiction, and that's great, you know? That's great, but you can also be like, oh, well, this character sucks, or that character sucks, or that character in the backstory sucks, or this thing sucks, and it's like, yeah, and it's all fiction, and we all have a good time, and we all enjoy it, until it actually craps itself for other reasons. But here, it's like, you know, this is historical. It's fiction, but it's historical. Askeladd didn't really exist, but there were plenty of men like Askeladd that existed 1,000 years ago, you know? So that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like I kind of like that it does sort of balance that while having very, very dark moments, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I hope that made sense. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Don't think I'm just bashing on Attack on Titan again. Like that wasn't an actual bash on Attack on Titan. So there's plenty of things to bash about Attack on Titan. That wasn't one of them. You know, I was just trying to point out like the difference between shows. Anywho, great episode. And I'm curious to see where we are going next time. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Vinland Saga reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.